Hello and welcome to Saturday's edition of Cracking the Cryptic, where we're going to be looking at a sequel puzzle today. This is Lupin's Loop 2 Space Invasion by Rabaron. We're doing this for a few reasons. Firstly, the first puzzle in this series was absolutely brilliant. I did that about a week ago and I loved it. Secondly, I believe it's been Rabaron's birthday recently, and I know this because Rabaron, believe it or not, your fiancée Marion wrote to me and told me that it had been your birthday, and wouldn't it be nice if we could do a puzzle by you? Well, this is what I'm going to attempt today, but we've also had this one recommended by several others who tell me it is brilliant. And I found it on Logic Masters, and there's a bit of a backstory to it. Let me here we go. Here's the backstory. Let's read it. For years, NASA had been hiding a secret expedition, a mission to explore newly discovered ringed planets, each believed to hold traces of alien life. The ships were ready, the technology was tested, and the crew had been chosen. Only one problem remained: finding the route. It could not be just any path. It had to obey strict constraints and close perfectly into a loop. NASA's best scientists had failed, and the expedition was days away from being cancelled. Then they heard about Professor Lupin's impossible road system in the city. NASA's scientists laughed when his name came up. They doubted the stories from the city, and doubted even more that Professor Lupin could solve an expedition their own calculations had failed to plan. But with the mission nearly abandoned, even a ridiculous rumour was worth testing. With nothing left to lose, NASA prepared a final test. A sealed envelope arrived at Lupin's door, holding a star map, a list of black holes, and one mocking message. "Loop it, Lupin." Now NASA was about to discover whether Professor Lupin was truly a genius, or only a very convincing rumour. I love it. I absolutely love this. You can see it's got 99% approval rating, 4 stars out of 5 for difficulty. And if we just flip down here, look at the comments. Some people wondering about the difficulty level, but comments like masterpiece and brilliant puzzle. These are things that we like to see. And I like to see. So I'm looking forward to having a go at this. And we'll read the rules together and see if we can loop it, Lupin, in a moment or two's time. But I have got a wealth of things to talk to you about before we kick off today. Let me just try and work out what I should be talking about. Can we start off by mentioning there is a brand new app out by none other than ZetaMath. This is ZetaMath's worm. So if you've been following the channel for a while, you might know that for some of our favourite constructors, we've been able to release apps containing puzzles just by those constructors. So Fistomavel, Marty Sears, people like this, and ZetaMath's app has just been released. So do get involved in that. You will really, really like it. So that is an exciting development, and it's available on all sorts of platforms. The Steam platform and the App Store platform and the Google Play platform. It's available on all of those. Next, and this is causing some confusion for some people, we are streaming tomorrow night, Sunday night, in the Blueprints Mansion. I know we normally stream on Mondays, yes, but we've been asked to be part of this thing called the Cerebral Showcase, which is a Steam event. And that ends this Sunday night. And you can see we've been allocated the closing slot in this Cerebral Showcase, and we wanted to be part of it and support it. So that is why we're streaming on tomorrow night. So if you have been following our journey in the Blueprints Mansion, please don't miss it. I will try and remember to put a link to that on the screen. And I hope to see you there, obviously. Next, we are closing it fast on the 1st of June. And on the 1st of June, you'll have there's going to be a brand new competition launched over on Patreon, actually also themed on aliens, a bit like this puzzle. So if you'd like to win the chance to come onto the channel and solve a puzzle, that is the way to do it. There'll be a few sudokus to solve, and you'll have until the 20th of June to achieve that. So good luck. Good luck, one and all. 4 p.m. UK time on the 1st is when that goes live. Now, what else? I have got birthdays and all sorts of other announcements here. Let me start off by wishing Chloe a very happy 29th birthday. Your partner Joe wrote to me over on Instagram, which is, by the way, it's never the best way. If you want a birthday shout out on the channel, please email us at crackingthecryptic@gmail.com. I do try and check our messages on Instagram and TikTok, but it's just much more difficult for us to do that. And some messages we do miss because I don't really understand DMing and things. So sorry, I don't. Anyway, so that's just a thing. But anyway, Chloe, it's your birthday, I think, and I hope you have a great birthday. If you are in the UK, I don't know whether you are or not. The weather has been very nice and exceptionally hot again. Nick, this next one is a lovely announcement. Amelia over in Frankfurt has just been born. Was born on the 22nd. To proud parents, Antoine and Ola. I got a lovely email from Antoine, who's been watching the channel for a long time. I think Ola has as well. Antoine says, Ola and Amelia, that you two are the pillars of his life. And he says, objectively, Amelia is the cutest baby girl in the world, which I loved. Many congratulations to the two of you on the arrival of little Amelia. That is fabulous news. Also fabulous news is that 2 of our viewers are getting married today. This afternoon, it will have already happened by the time this video goes live. 2 p.m. in Corfu, George and Catherine, congratulations. I'm no doubt you will get some very hot weather down there. I hope the wedding day is good, and I hope there probably won't be chocolate cake, will there? Not on a wedding, but I hope there's cake and it's properly iced, of course. Next, I might get the pronunciation of this wrong. Is it Hiba or Hibar? I'm not sure, but your husband, I'm going to say Mean, but I could be mispronouncing all of this, but hopefully you will know. You will know who you are from this message. I know that both of you watch and you love the Rat Run puzzles. Who doesn't love Rat Run? Although I don't think we're getting Rat Run next week, are we? I think it's the 7th. I want to say the 7th of June is the final Rat Run. I'm not sure even about that. I think it's a week on Tuesday, the final Rat Run. Is that the 7th? I'm not sure. Anyway. Hibar, I'm not sure. I don't know. It's really frustrating. Many happy returns. I hope you get some chocolate cake. I'm late with this one, but hopefully, I know Mark, I think, did manage to solve Stephen's puzzle in last night's video. Stephen, who constructs under the name Bilal sometimes, is the father of none other than the peddling pianist, aka Stuart. Stephen, I hope you had a great birthday yesterday. I'm sure you will have enjoyed Mark's battle with your puzzle. And then a couple of thank yous. Thank you to Rai for sending us a very kind email. I did like that. And also Nick, who'd heard me talk, I think on a stream, about the fact that I'd once been to see the GSL StarCraft 2 finals in Las Vegas. And Nick was also there and sent me a picture of this number plate, good luck, have fun, GG, which has been signed by some of the great StarCraft players and commentators there. There's Artosis's name. This won't mean anything to some of you, but to some of you, it'll be great. I absolutely love it. Yeah, that was a great pity Innovation didn't win that GSL 2012. But you can't have everything in life. And Nick, I did really appreciate your email. So thank you for sharing that news. I think that's all the news. Oh, yes. Oh, I don't know if I dare to do that. Somebody has asked me to do Damien Rice's The Blower's Daughter. And if I do it, it's going to be secreted away at the very end of this video because I I won't be able to do it justice at all, although I do love the song. Anyway, that is by the by. Let us turn our attention to this puzzle, which is called Lupin's Loop 2, Space Invasion by Rab Aron. The rules of this one are as follows. We have got normal sudoku rules applying, so we're going to have to put the digits 1 to 9 once each in every row, every column, and every 3x3 box. Digits separated by a white crop key dot are consecutive, so if this digit was a 2, this would either be a 1 or a 3 to be consecutive with 2. Draw a single route that travels orthogonally from cell to cell, never branching, crossing, or overlapping, and eventually closing into a loop. So what does that mean? A loop that moves, or a route that moves orthogonally. It means it moves in a cardinal direction. So north, south, east, or west. Let me see if I can do it. Yeah. So that would be a movement that's possible in this puzzle. That would not be possible. That is a diagonal movement. That is not an orthogonal movement, and therefore it would not be allowed. The loop must pass through every planet. Thick black borders represent black holes that the route cannot cross. A digit in a satellite equals the number of loop cells in the 3x3 box centered on that cell. Right, so that satellite cell is counting how many loop cells there are in that 3x3 area of the grid. This one is counting those ones. Are there only 2 of those? I'm only seeing 2. There might be more, but that's how that rule works. Okay, there are some more rules actually. Let me just check I haven't missed out anything there. Right, it says along the loop, one parity forces the route to turn, i.e. make a 90-degree angle, while the other forces it to continue straight, making a 180-degree angle. Well, okay, yeah. So some parity is going to cause the loop to do this, and some is going to cause it to go straight on. And we're going to have to work out which is which, are we? It is up to the solver to determine which parity corresponds to which behaviour. Any 2 cells that are adjacent along the loop must contain non-consecutive digits. The only case where consecutive digits may appear along the loop is if the loop passes through a white dot. Right. So if the loop goes through a dot, you can have consecutive digits in those 2 cells. I might word that differently, assuming I can solve the puzzle at all. But say the loop did this. I think what this is saying is that these 2 must not be consecutive. Those 2 must not be consecutive, but those 2 must be consecutive. That's weird. That's a weird rule. And that they are all the rules. This is meant to be a very good puzzle, and we have been set this task by NASA, no less. Yeah, therefore, let's see if we can loop in. Do have a go at the puzzle. The way to play is to click the link under the video as usual, but now I get to play. Let's get cracking. So we've got loads of cells here that they all have to be on the loop. Should we have a colour for on the loop? Green. They are all on the loop. And okay, and the loop moves orthogonally. So let's draw. So a cell in the corner of the grid, it can't do that because that's a diagonal movement. So that is definitely part of the loop. That is definitely part of the loop. We don't know about the other 2 corners. Maverick's just taken off. Always a propitious start to the video. Right. Right. Okay, we can do something here using this trick about, or not trick, but this rule about parity. Because we've got the entirety of the bottom row on the loop. Now, in Sudoku, there are 4 even digits and 5 odd digits. Now, here's my question. how could there possibly be 5 turns of the loop? So I'm thinking that if the digit that changes the direction of the loop by 90 degrees is an odd digit, you couldn't construct a loop. Is how my brain, that's the most appallingly worded. But so for example, if we had tried to achieve 5 turns in the bottom row, because we say all the odd digits cause turns, well, if those were odd, we could do that. But there's going to have to be another turn, isn't there? And what's this has no ability to get out of the bottom row. That there would be 5 upward strands coming out of the bottom row, and you could only join 4 of them together. That might be a way to express that as a sort of a logical. What would that be? A lemma or something? I don't know. Don't write in. Don't cancel me. Something like that. It's just not possible. So I think we can say, without fear of contradiction, that turns are even digits, which means that those 2 cells are even digits. So they are 2, 4, 6, and 8. We're probably going to have to parity colour this, aren't we? Maybe I'll do that. They're definitely even. Now, what do we do from there? It's not going to be this, is it? That's just too open-ended. Not actually sure. I mean, obviously there's 2 more even digits in the bottom row. And so they're going to send the loop upwards in both cases. And wherever you put the turn, yeah. Okay, so this is not a turn. That I can now see. Because if that's a turn, this must also be a turn. Let me just try and explain that. If that's a turn, obviously that's a turn, because we've got to get into this cell. And that can't work, because now I'm going to have too many turns in box 7. How do I know I've got too many turns in box 7? Well, remember, the only cells on which turns happen are even digits, and there are 4 even digits in box 7. And we'd have this situation. So at the moment, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 turns, and this is going up here into a black hole. So it's going to have to turn here. It can't turn there, or it would create a tiny loop, and that would be too naughty for words. So there would be 5 turns in this box. That won't work. So this is not a turn. So that is an odd digit, I think, which means that the loop goes here. And that's quite interesting. Don't mock me. I am so deeply aware that I'm not an interesting creature. But the puzzle is interesting because this digit is now a turn. The only way of getting to that cell is going to be by doing a little rinky-dink like that, which means that that cell... Oh, hang on. Is that right, though? That doesn't feel right. Because now I've actually got 2 turns as a result of that. And that would be a... Okay, no, it's okay. I was thinking I was going to have too many turns again in this box, but I've got a turn here, a turn here. This has to turn. So all of those are now evens, which means the whole of the rest of the box is odd, although it might not be. Right, that we can't turn to the west here, because if we turn west, we must go up, and that's going to be a 5th even. And it's not allowed to be even. There's only 4 evens in this box. So we have to turn to the east, and then we go through an odd, which means we continue. And this cell is odd, so that's a continue. It's a bit like Meisu, this, if you've ever done the Japanese logic problem Meisu. It's almost like we're creating black and white dots in Masu. Is Meisu? Right, hang on. That cell is now a corner of the loop. So that's got to be even. and the loop's got to do that. Okay, here's something that causes, which is rather cute. Look at column 1 now. We can never go into any of these cells. Because if we did, there would be a turn. So there would actually be 2 turns. There'd be 2 evens in that sequence. And that would put far too many evens in this column. But let's put that a different way. We're going up here along the loop, and we're either going to turn there because we're not allowed to go through this black hole, or we're going to turn in one of these 2 cells, and that's going to be the 4th even in column 1. So all those cells are not only not visited by the loop, but they are actually odd. Now what? I don't know. I'm not sure. We probably can't turn up here for the same reason we couldn't turn up there. That would be a corner. Oh no, it is a bit different actually, because here an upward turn caused a second turn very quickly, whereas here an upward turn wouldn't cause a second turn very quickly. So if that was a turn, you'd have 3 turns, 4 turns. I think that's okay. No, it's not okay. Oh, that is much harder to see. Okay, that's rather beautiful though. So I don't think it's more complicated. I don't think this can be a turn. And the problem is going to come in this cell. But we have to sort of visualize it. So if there is a turn here, well, we don't have to visualize it. Actually, I will show you. But I don't think it works. So we've got to keep a careful count of the turns. Now, if this did turn up, obviously now we've got a turn here, a turn here, and a turn here. So we've got 3 turns, and we can't have a turn there without creating a naughty small loop. So we're going to have something like this, and we've had our 4 turns in the box. But look what's happened now. This is going to have to turn to the west, and if these meet, there is a 5th turn, and if they don't meet, there's a 5th turn here instead. So you can't do it. But that is harder to see. And okay, but that does mean that this is not a turn. So that's a straight on. We don't know about this one. If we turn that, we're going to have a lot of turns. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hang on, 1, 2, 3. No, that doesn't work at all. Maybe that's easier to see. This one, if it turned that way, it would have to turn up. And now we have to get into this cell because that's a Saturn cell. It's a planet cell. So we'd have to do that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 turns. That's far too many. Bad loop, naughty loop. So that goes straight on, which means this cell is odd. Well, this can't be a turn now. But we can see that because the turn couldn't go upwards through the black hole, the loop segment would go downwards, and this is cul-de-sac. So that doesn't work. So we've got to go straight through this cell, which means this cell is odd, and we've got to go straight through it, which means this cell is a turn. I love puzzles like this. Now this cell has to be a turn because it's visited. Oh, and that's gone through a little Scylla and Charybdis. Look, these 2 cells. So we better go through the passageway, which means this cell, you've guessed it, is odd. That's got to be a turn because we've run into the black hole. So that's got to be a turn. Now, what do we do with this? That is the question. Well, okay, here's a point that we might be able to use. This cell is on the loop. Now, okay, and at the moment we're running up column 9 with the loop. Now imagine we turned in column 9 before we got to this cell. Let's say we turn here. We know this cell's visited. So we know there must be 2 more turns of the loop in column 9. Because it doesn't matter if the turn's there or it goes straight through. There's going to have to be 2 more turns. There can't be that many turns. That would be 6 turns in column 9. So we have to run up column 9 at least to this. So we don't have to turn there. We could turn here. But those 3 are definitely odd. Which means, oh, this is beautiful. This is beautiful. Why is that buzzing at me? No, that's fine. This cell is now a turn. So that one is even. That's a turn as well. Mustn't go into black holes. That, oh, and I was going to say that. Oh, no, well, actually, it can't be for a different reason than the reason I thought I'd spotted. But look, I've had 4 even digits in box 6. So those 2 both have to be odd, which means they are continuations. But, ooh, hang on. I've now gone through a white dot. So that's, by parity, this is even, and therefore it's a turn. And the loop's on this turn, and it can't turn up without making a small loop. So that's got to turn downwards. Don't know what the parity of that one is. Now, what on earth do we do with this? I don't know. I'm not sure. What do you think we do next? If we... I don't know. I can see I've got 3 evens in row 6. I can obviously only have 1 more. But I think they could join together. Oh no, they couldn't actually join together. Yeah, that is weird. Right. So, okay, I don't really know how to explain this, but if we look at the bottom 3 rows of the grid, we've got a loop segment on the left and a loop segment on the right. Now, it's not possible that these form a closed loop in the bottom of the grid, because then obviously all of these loop segments above this row would form their own loop, a different loop. So something's coming out of the bottom of the grid. Oh, no, this is, sorry, I've just seen something much more straightforward. This cell is isolated, so I've got to turn that down. Oh, okay, I wasn't actually expecting that. Oh, well, okay, it makes this cell more straightforward, because that cell can't be a turn now, because this would also be a turn, and we'd have 5 turns in box 9, so that's definitely a straight on. Yeah, okay, and now it's easier to see the point I was going to make before, but this loop segment now, it can't join to that because this would be isolated. So what's going to happen is these 2 somehow will join together, and this one will have to go upwards, I think. And wherever it goes upwards, I don't know actually. Could it turn here? Or maybe it's this row. I mean, this could bump. No, this one can't just continue and bump into this. It just can't do that. Because if it did, we'd have an odd number of loop ends in the bottom 3 rows of the grid. That 1, 2, 3, and we could tie 2 of those together, but one of them would then be stranded. So I know this turns before it gets to here. and therefore this cannot turn, because if this turns and this needs to turn, we'd have 5 loop thingies in that row. So that is a straight on. Okay. I don't know what that means. It probably means something very straightforward, but I don't know what it is. If that turns 1, I think that might be all right. I'm not quite sure how to do this smoothly, and I'd like to try to. The puzzle is so highly rated that I'm sure there's some very cute logic here. I just have to spot it. And that involves me having an intelligent thought. So come on, Simon, have an intelligent thought. Okay. I have had an intelligent thought. But it's a bit bizarre. Oh, yeah. I have had an intelligent thought. Okay, I can prove this doesn't turn. And that's going to do something. Now, the reason that doesn't, you have to sort of visualize. If this turns, it's not going to be able to bump into this without creating a small loop. So if this turns, there's going to be a turn here as well. So you're going to get a turn here, and the loop's going to be in this position. But this is also on the loop. So there's going to be another turn here. So the loop's going to sort of go, well, let's pencil it in. You'll see it does that. Now, why is that a problem? You might say, no, that's not a problem, Simon. There are 4 turns there. There are 4 even digits available in box 8, so that's perfectly fine. And you are, of course, correct. However, what are we doing with this? This now cannot ever turn, but it's going to bump into this at some point, and it will turn when it does. And that's not a good thing. It's a thing that's not a good thing at all. So that doesn't turn, which means, of course, that that cell is now odd. So, oh, hang on, but we don't know where this one, I don't know whether this one goes in there or not. Although, no, I do know. I've now got 5 odd digits in the bottom row, so they're both even now. To make sure we have enough even digits, which means they both turn. Now, it's the same problem. It's beautiful. How could this be a turn? If it turns that way, we're creating a short loop. If it turns that way, we've got the same problem. This is going to join to that and create 5 turns in box 8. So that goes up. This goes up. Don't close this loop. It would make a small loop. That goes up. That goes up. Don't close this or it makes a small loop. So that goes this way. And now we've got all sorts of things going on. Let's just keep track of this. We've got straight on portions in all 4 of those cells, which means these are both even, one of which is a turn. This is a turn. That's all 4 evens in row 6. So we can put the odd digits in. Therefore, we go straight on here. This segment has to go somewhere, so that's going into the middle and turning, which means the central digit of the grid is even. Now, okay, if this turned, that would be the last turn available in row 5, and the loop would close here. So that's not a turn, that's an odd digit, which means we go up there and turn, which means this is an even digit. Oh, Rabaron, you've come up with some. These loop puzzles you've been making are just beautiful. Now, okay, what do we think we do next? There's going to be... There needs to be a turn of this segment somewhere. If that turn was here, we'd create a small loop, so it's not there. But the turn that is required will need the even digit in this row, the only one left. So that's definitely an odd digit. And either one of these is even. It's either doing this or going here and turning. Oh, I tell you what it's not doing. Oh, this is lovely. Look at column 4. What would happen if it turned here? That would be the final turn in this column, because that would be all 4 evens. So when it needed to turn up there somewhere, it wouldn't be allowed to, and that's obviously going to be wrong. So that's odd. This is even. This is where it does turn. Don't close these together, so that turns up. Oh, well, okay, well, one of these has to be even. Hang on, let's keep track of this. Let's be careful. So I've now got 3 evens. If this was a turn, this is a bizarre point. If this was a turn, we could have no more turns in this box, in row 4, sorry. So the loop would run in through all 3 of those positions, and there would be many issues with that. The first is there would be 6 odd digits in box 5, which is impossible. 1, 3, 5, 7, 9 are all the odd digits you're ever going to find in normal Sudoku puzzles. Secondly, that thing is meant to count how many thingies there are in its region, or in its 3 by 3 surrounding it, and that would be a 9, yet that cell would be meant to be an even digit, so that wouldn't be correct. There are probably other problems as well, but I definitely don't think this is a turn, which means it's a straight on. We go up there, that's now a turn. Now we can't turn to the west or we're closing the loop, so we've got to turn to the east. This therefore has to be a straight on. Remember, it never goes into the first column of the grid, so that's an odd. One of these is a turn. We worked out earlier you can never turn in column 4 again, because if we turn here, there'll be a second turn and there'll be 5 evens in the column, so that's odd. We go there. Oh, so we're going to have to... Well, that's... See, what I've done there is just a natural corollary of the logic we've been doing, but I can see how it's so powerful. So what I said is that we can't turn in column 4 again. But I know this is visited, don't I? So I can immediately do that. This loop segment is impossible because there'll be 2 turns associated with it. Ah! And, yeah, like innovation against Sniper, I would have lost my army in 2012. So this is not a possible segment, but this is visited. So that becomes a sort of passageway that we have to travel along, which means this is an odd digit. That can't be a turn because you can never get to that cell. Oh, well, hang on though. That's interesting, isn't it? Ah, right. Okay, so we're going to have to think about this cell. Does this turn? Of course it does, or it goes into a cul-de-sac here. So it's going to turn in one of these 2 positions, and that's the final turn in box 5. So this is odd. So this is even, but is unvisited, because we can't turn in that cell. Okay. I do have to turn in one of those. Oh, that's lovely. It's very, very good, this. What would happen if that was the turn, i.e. if this continued and then turned there? The problem with that is how many odd digits would you now have in box 1? This would be odd and this would be odd as continuations, plus another 4 odds is 6 odds. It doesn't work. So we actually have to turn early. We've got to turn there, and those 3 are all turns, which means this is odd. Now, well, we can't turn here anymore because we'd have 2 more turns in row 2. So that's odd. Ah, odd, I tell you. Ah, still odd. There we go. Odd. So it gets an even in the corner. Now, there's got to be an even in one of those 2. 3. Okay. How could there be another horizontal segment in row 2? So how could this be a segment, for example? It couldn't be, because there would be 2 turns associated with any horizontal segment. We're not in row 2 at the moment, so we'd have to move into row 2, turn, and then get out of row 2 again. 2 turns. But there's no 2 turns available, because I've already had 3 even digits. So there is no horizontal segment in row 2, which means this cell is a pass-through, and we have to do that, which means this cell is odd. That's a turn, therefore. I don't know which. I presume it's going to turn to the east, but I don't know that. That's a turn. Oh, well, that means that's odd. So I can't turn east there. If this turns east, the loop would carry on into itself, which it's not allowed to do. So we must turn that way. And now this has to get out, so it has to go there. And therefore that's odd. That's even, but it's not on the loop at all. And now we've just got to be careful. We mustn't close this loop here, because that would create a loop on the right, and another different loop on the left. So we're going to have to do that and that and that, because we can't turn in row 2. So that's it. That is the loop. We have drawn the loop, and now we've just got to check that the parity hasn't broken in terms of the number of digits that are... Oh, there's a big, enormous fly that's just flown in as well. There are 4 evens in box 2. There are 4 evens in box 5. There are 4 evens in column 7, and we don't have enough evens in either box 9 or column 8. So there we go. We have parity shaded, and we have looped it Lupin, but we haven't actually done any digits at all. So what do we have to do the digits? We have got to do... oh yeah, so we've done the parity. Any 2 cells that are... Oh yeah, non-consecutive is going to get us home, is it? Oh, apart from the white dots, which are consecutive. Oh, but that... Okay, so they are consecutive. They're consecutive. Oh, hang on. We can just fill these 2 digits in. We just count how many... That's an 8. That's got 8 cells in its 3 by 3. Now this one is more complicated. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, those 2 are not used. So that's a 7, and that is odd. So that suggests we're on the right line. So 7 is consecutive with 6 or 8. Yeah, this is beautiful. Where's 7 in box 5? 7 can't be next to 8 on the loop, because they would be consecutive. It can't be in its own row, and it isn't even, so it's there. So 7 is in one of those 2. What would happen if it was on the dot? If it was on the dot, this would be 8, which it couldn't be, or 6, which it couldn't be, because it would be consecutive with 7, so it's not there. So that's 7. 3 7s immediately into the grid. Don't quite know what that means. Probably does mean something sensible. I'm not sure whether it's going to be about 7s, 8s or 6s. I think it'll be about one of those, because they seem to me, at least at first blush, to be the only digits that are remotely restricted. But... yeah, it's odd actually, isn't it? Because it's not odd, it's sort of... it's not even either. But the cells where the parity changes are powerful from a non-consecutive point of view. These are not powerful. I mean, I know this digit isn't 7, but that sudoku told me that anyway. But because I know this is odd, I can't use the non-consecutive constraint, because these could never be affected by it, given they're both of the same parity. Okay, so 8 in box 6. It can't be next to 7 on the loop, and it's not in its own row. So it is in one of those two cells, which might matter. He says somewhat desperately. I'm not sure it does, though. 9 can't be next to 8 in the middle box, so 9 is in one of those two cells. Right, we can place 9 in box 6, because it's not in its own row. It's not on this white Kropki dot, because this would have to be consecutive with 9. It would therefore have to be 8, which would repeat. So 9 is actually placed. So 9 is in one of those two cells. This, oh, that's lovely. Right, this now can't be 8, because it would be consecutive with 9. So we get the 8 in box 6. We get, look at this. This is so lovely. We get an 8 in that cell by parity. That removes the ability of this one to be 9. We get to place 9. 8 has to be in one of two cells. Didn't do it. 8's got to be in one of two cells in, oh, it can't be in the corner now. In box 7, so it's in one of three cells in box thingy up there. Now, it must be 6, mustn't it? How is 6 restricted then? 6 can't be there. 6 has to be in a blue cell. And it can't be there, so 6 is in one of those two. 6 can't, oh, no, that's fine. That's fine. The question we should have asked is where's 6 in this box? And the answer, as usual, is we don't know, but it's definitely not here. So 6 is in one of those two, which takes it out of there, which places it here, which places it here. Beautiful. Now we've got a 2-4 pair in those cells. This is a 2 or a 4. That's 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 a 2 or a 4. Okay. So 5 in box 6 now can't be next to 6 on the loop. So 5 is in one of two cells. One of two cells in box 5. One of three cells, I think, in box 4. No, that can be 5. It's not on the loop with that one. Wow, okay. Oh, that digit it's even, but it's not in those three cells, so that one's got to be 2 or 4, which means 6 is also in these three cells. Those two are the same as though, oh, those, okay, those three are the same in terms of, let me just show you what I mean by that. This cell is clearly that one in box 5, and this one in box 1. And that's very annoying. That's very annoying indeed. Ooh, can't put 5 next to 6 there. So let's take that out. So 5 has got more restricted in box 4. Golly, okay. The purple digit in box 2 is in one of two places, so it's in one of two places in box 8. I don't think, I don't know whether that's important or not. It probably isn't, but I'm not sure. What could it be then? If it's, how are we going to get a grip on this? Indeed, are we going to get a grip on it? I don't know. Wow. Let me just think about this for a second. Is this obvious? It could be, but I don't immediately see why it's obvious. It could be something like, maybe if 5 is too close to this digit, we could prove it's got to be a 2 or something in enough boxes. Or, wow, I don't know. Oh, 6, look. 6 in box. Oh, that's quite good. So 6 in box 8 has to be at the bottom, which takes it out of the 2 corner cells. So this one's become 2 or 4. It's probably purple, isn't it? But we don't know. 6, oh, nearly. So 6 in box 9 now. It can't be this one. So 6 is in one of those 2 even digits. That means this digit can't be 5 or 7. Does that do anything? It's almost trying to, isn't it? If we ask where 5 and 7 go in column 8, it's getting a bit spicy. I wonder if there's some way I'm meant to know what that is. Oh, no, nearly. Where's 7? Yeah, I think I've just got to be more diligent about my Sudoku. Where's 7 in box 9? It can't go here anymore, and it can't go there. So it's in it's not brilliant, one of 3 places. Where's 7 in this box? Also one of 3 places. Where's 7 in this box? Not in those, so one of 2 places. But it can be here because this isn't a continuation of the loop with the 8. Okay, that's no use then, sorry. If that was 7, this would be 6. That would be 6-8 pair in this row, if that was 7. Don't know. Or is it 9 in some way that's restricted, or 8 that's in some way restricted? We've just got to get a handle. I don't think we're a million miles away, but I've just got to have the correct thought. So come on, brain, do your business. Right, got it. Where's 6 in row 2? That's straightforward, isn't it? It can't go here, and I've got a 2-4 pair that I'd never even seen. So it's got to go there. So this is 6, this is 8, this is now, whoopsie, that's now a 2 or a 4. This digit is an 8 because of the 2-4 pair in the row. Right, okay, I'm going to have a colour for the other 2 and 4 as well, I think. Let's make that green, because that's got to be green. What's this one? That's got to be purple. That's good. Okay, we can... Right, remember we said earlier purple was in one of those 2 cells, which was true. That means purple is in one of these 2 cells, but this purple tells me where that is. So that's purple. So this is now a green 2 or 4, which means this is green by a process known in the trade as Sudoku. That's green. This is green. Oh, no, that's not true. Well, it's not necessarily true. Oh, that is now definitively purple in the corner. So this is definitively green in box 7. That's great, isn't it? Now this is 8 by pencil marking. This is 6 by pencil marking. That is 6 by pencil marking. And you've guessed it, that is green by pencil marking. So this is an 8-6 pair. We can do it. That's not got to be 8 in the corner. So that's green, which means this is green. This is purple. This is a 6-8 pair. That must be resolved, I think, but I can't see how to do it straight away, so I will pencil mark it. Where is... Ooh, no, that doesn't quite work. This digit in the corner is 6 or 8 by column 9's evens. No, it didn't work. Oh, I tell you something. This can't be 7 anymore. Look, because we've placed an 8 here, so 7's been. That's even easier. Look at the 6 here. That stops 7 being in those two positions in box 8. So I get lots of 7. I get loads of 7s done out of nowhere. So 7. No, this is even better. Look at column 8. Where is 7? It can't go there because that's 6 or 8. So 7 has to go here. And this is 6 or 8. And we know it's now 6. Which means this is 6. This is 8. That's 8 in the corner. This is purple 2 or 4. Which means this is purple 2 or 4, it seems. So we can put 6 up here. We've almost done our even digits now. Almost, but not entirely. Oh, that digit's very weird. That sees both 2 and 4. So it can't be 1, 3, or 5. And it can't be 7. That's a naked... I mean, let's just focus on that cell for a moment. This one. I don't know which of these is 2 and which of them is 4, but it's definitely true to say this can't be 1, 3, 5, or 7, so it's 9. Now, does that do anything? Oh, please. Does that really do nothing? That's weird. 1, 3, and 5. That is such a desperate pencil mark, isn't it? That is appalling. 9. Oh, nearly. 9 is nearly. No, it's not really. It's not actually restricted. Oh, no, it is. Sorry. Let's just go back. I can't put 9 next to 8 in this cell. So 9's been placed in box 9 probably forever. 9 is now placed in box 8. It's now placed in box 5. No, it can't. We can't use the 8 here because that's not on the loop. Let's double click the 9s and see if we can. Yeah. Sorry, that's a 9. Look, by Sudoku. So that's a 9 by Sudoku, and that's a 9 by Sudoku. And all your 9s, I think, belong to us. Now, 7 in box 2 is placed. 7 in box 1 is placed. That feels like we've done a lot of 7s as well. We have done all the 7s. So, and this we're allowed to be consecutive with green. Okay. 9 can't go. How many 8s have we got? All of them. How many 6s? All of them. Okay. So let's think about this then. I feel like I've got loads of 1s, 3s and 5s left to place, and not really much clue about how to deal with them. Five is in one of these. Sorry, if this is very obvious, I do apologise. I'm trying to spot whatever it is that... oh, here's a point. Where's 5 in box 8? It can't go next to 6, so at least I get a tiny restriction. So if 5 was here, what we want is some position of 5, which, if we were to hypothesize it, forces it next to both colours, green and purple, because we know either green or purple is 4, and that would be a big problem. It would be an insurmountable problem. Yeah, I can't see such as... Oh, actually, 5 in can't go next to 6 here, so 5's in one of 2 places in box 9, which takes it out of that little position. So it's in one of 2 places in box 7. Now, how do we do this then? That is the question. I almost wondered about that cell, but that would put a 5 there, and 5. So that's 2. They would both be next to the green color of 5, which is probably means green is the green color of 2 or 4. So green could probably be 4. Let's try the other one then. So if it was there, we could put it next to the purple, but not the green. So it would be there. It just seems to work either way round, actually. I can sort of plot it everywhere next to the purple. That's amazing. Oh no, hang on, it's appeared twice in its own column there. Oh, that's too remote, isn't it? I can't use that. I won't need to. Where's 5 in this box? The answer, as usual, is I don't know. But we can now, I think, ask where 5 goes in column 3. It can't go next to the 6, look. So it's got one position only, which is here. Now, hopefully that will be enough. But it's going to place it in box 8. Actually, I don't know if it will, you know. I'm not sure. Oh, okay. The other thing it could be is 3, of course. If there are positions, 3 can never go next to either of the... there we go. Where's 3 in this box? It can't go here, because whether this is 2 or 4, that would be a terrible thing. So this is a 3-5 pair. This is a 1. So in this column, that is a 3, and this is a 1. One of these is a 1. Now that must do something, he says, somewhat desperately. It probably does something. 3 is in one of those 2 cells. I think either is possible. 3 can't be here, because it would be next to 2 or 4. So 3 is in one of those 2. So 3 is in one of these 2 in box 6, which takes it out of here and plonks it here, which makes that 3, that 1. Now that's probably done something. This is now 1-5 pair. Can we use logic to help us? Maybe not. Okay, let's keep going. Oh, that's 2 or 4. So that can't be 3 next to it. So that's 5, that's 3. This is 5 now. So that's 5. And this 5 is next to green. So green can't be 4. That is right, isn't it? Yeah, so green has to be 2. I don't actually, let me just, it won't let me. Okay, green is 2. 2, 2, 2, 2. Purple is 4. Let's plonk that everywhere in the grid. So that's spruced things up. 4 can't go next to 3, so this is a 3-5 pair. This is a 1 in the top row. This is a 1. This is a 3. That's 3 in the corner. That's 3 in the corner. That's 3 in the spotlight, losing its religion. Okay, great. Now we get a 1 and a 5 here. A 1 by Sudoku, a 5, a 3, 3 and a 1. Yeah, it's done. It's done. 3, 5. Now, I'm just going to spend a moment just to stare at this and check that I haven't got anything that looks consecutive along the loop, because that would be tragic. Oh, but no, that's okay, because that's across a white dot. It's brilliant. That is a brilliant puzzle. Absolutely brilliant. I love these Lupin's loops. Space Invasion, Rabaron, another brilliant one. Absolutely loved it. I loved the loop building. I loved the finding the digits, and it was just a class problem all round. Absolutely brilliant. Let me know in the comments how you got on with the puzzle. I enjoy the comments, especially when they're kind, and we'll be back later with another edition of Cracking the Cryptic. I can't take my eyes off you. 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 And so